Hello children, welcome back to your science class. We will continue today again chapter 5, plant reproduction. And children, in this chapter till now we have discussed what is reproduction, what are the ways of reproduction, and we have discussed all about sexual reproduction. Okay, but in this class today I'll discuss about vegetative reproduction. So let's start what is vegetative reproduction. You have learned that plants reproduce by seeds, that is the sexual reproduction. Okay, but not all the plants reproduce through seeds. Many plants reproduce with the help of other parts of plant such as roots, stem and leaves. Okay, means all the plants do not reproduce through seeds. Some plants reproduce with the help of other part of plant, like there are other parts like roots, stem and leaves. So such reproduction is vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction is the type of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from the roots, stem, leaves and buds. Since reproduction is through the vegetative part of plant, that is why it is known as vegetative propagation. Children, you have learned in first type of reproduction, that was sexual reproduction, in which reproductive organ, flower was important. Same as in this type of reproduction, as the plant produce their young ones or produce a new plant through vegetative part of plant, which is root, stem and leaves. So this type of reproduction is also known as vegetative propagation. Let's start the plants which reproduce through roots. When the roots of plants like carrot, turnip and sweet potato are kept in water for some time, they develop shoots, means they develop stem, from that leaves grow. So these shoots grow into the new plants. Okay. So they are like carrot, turnip, they produce their new plants through roots. So this is reproduction by roots. Next is reproduction by stem. There are many plants like potato and sugarcane. They produce new plant from their stem. As you know, this potato is an underground stem. Okay, they have a special structure called eye growing on them. You might have seen sometimes on potatoes some white structure or sometimes green structure, that is an eye of the potato. Okay, that is actually the bud which have the small plant in them. And when we cut that piece of a potato with an eye in it, and if you put it in the soil, you will find that part of the small potato will grow into a new plant. So this is the method of reproducing their young one by stem. Except this, there are some plants like rose, hibiscus and money plant. When you cut their small stem and when you put it in the soil, you find a new plant grow, especially about money plant. You might have done also. When you cut the small tip of the stem and when you put it in the soil, after a few days you find that small portion of that stem, it start growing and will grow into a new plant. So this method is called stem cutting. So the stem cutting of rose, this is mainly used in rose. That grafting and stem cutting, this method is used in rose. So stem cutting of rose, hibiscus and money plant, use this method to grow into new plant. For this, the stem of parent plant is cut at an angle and that the cut portion is then planted in soil, and when we water them regularly after a few days, you will find that cut stem grows into a new plant. Just try this with the money plant if you have not done. You will find that this money plant will grow. They do not need any seed. They will grow into a new plant through this small portion of the stem only. Okay. Now next, see, this is showing vegetative reproduction through potato bud. When you put a small portion of the potato which have an eye into the soil, so you will find this potato bud will grow into a new plant. So this is vegetative reproduction through potato bud. Now next method of reproduction is reproduction by leaves. There is one plant in which the leaf, the plant is bryophyllum. The leaf of that plants grow small bud along the margin of the leaf. Just see in the first picture and second picture even. This is showing the leaf of one bryophyllum, that and its margin is having a small bud. And you know children, when these buds fall off into the soil, these all buds will grow into a new plant. Isn't a good method? So this is the reproduction by leaves. It occurs only in bryophyllum. Next is spore. Some plants like fern and mosses do not bear flower. They don't have even flower, they don't have even seeds. Instead of seeds, the leaves of these plants produce some seed-like structure. Means they do not have actually any seed. The leaf of these flower, lower surface of the leaf, this leaf produce some small particles that is called as spores. So instead of seeds, they produce a special structure called spores for the reproduction. As you can see in the picture, this is showing the picture of fern leaf. When you see the lower side surface of the fern leaf, you will find this small structure. And this brown small structure produces small spores, and each spores when fall in the soil, and that will germinate into a new plant. So it is not actually seed, it is a spore. Understood? So these plants which you have learned, like the plants reproduced by roots, stem, leaves and spores, this is known as vegetative reproduction. So there are many plants which reproduce through this method. In this, the plants reproduce through the vegetative part of the plant, like roots, stem, leaves and spores. Okay. So this was all about reproduction. So children, in this whole chapter, you have learned about the two methods of reproduction. First was sexual reproduction and second is vegetative reproduction. I hope this is clear to you all. Now children, kindly go through with the notes and complete all the assignments given in this chapter. Okay, thank you all.